Welcome back to The World According to the NASMan. Today we speak about NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, or as I like to say it, Neuro-Linguistic Psychology. So what is NLP? N stands for neuro, L stands for linguistic, and P stands for psychology or programming. The neuro part has to do with your brain, and the linguistic part is how you express your behavior, the communication part and what you label things, and the P for programming or psychology is all about behavior. Neuro-linguistic psychology or neuro-linguistic programming was first incepted in the late 70s, early 80s through the work of Richard Bandler and John Grinder. And basically, it's a study of human functioning, and specifically, it's a study of human excellence. And there's a very close link to hypnotherapy and psychology through NLP because the first models that were used were Virginia Satir, a marriage and family therapist, Gregory Bateson, an anthropologist, Fritz Perls, the father of Gestalt psychology and Gestalt understandings in psychology, and of course my favorite, Dr. Milton Erickson, hypnotherapist and psychiatrist, arguably best in his time. Neurolinguistic psychology is the study of behavior, how to bring it about, how to enhance it, how to elicit it, and how to make it better. There are a couple of basic presuppositions in NLP. The first one being the most important one, that communication or non-communication is redundant, i.e. you cannot not communicate. When you're not communicating, you are communicating something. The other presupposition, very important tenet of NLP, is that you are and you have total full responsibility for your communication. The meaning of my communication is the response that I get. So, for example, if I ask somebody to stand up and they sit down, then what I actually just said was sit down. Now, the last, or not the last, there's actually a few of these, but the last one for my purposes, according to the NASMan, is flexibility in communication. So the most dominant part in any communication is he who is most flexible. He or she, of course, who is most flexible. So the ability to change your communication constantly, fit it to the other side of that communication to get the outcomes that you're looking for. Neuro-linguistic psychology, NLP, has given us a bunch of wonderful techniques. For example, the fast phobia cure. Now, we've talked about phobias before, and NLP is one way to quickly, effectively get rid of a phobia in less than 20 minutes, actually. And it's through taking your mind in a journey. In this specific journey, the fast phobia technique or the cinema technique, or otherwise known as the rewind technique, what you do is you guide your client into a cinema seat where they will be watching the events that cause the phobia. And they're going to watch 3 different events, but one works just as well. The idea is that any memory is encoded in a very specific way, in a very specific sequence from beginning to end. And the NLP fast phobia cure just messes up that sequence, turn it upside down, allow that person to experience that event backwards from the end to the beginning in rewind, and mess up how that memory is encoded in that human being, thereby disallowing in the future the same emotional reaction to come from the same situation. Now, NLP has many other skills, for example, anchoring, and anchoring is the act by which you take sensory stimulations and associate them to each other over and over again, so that after a while you can do something like snap and say sleep and have somebody quickly go into a hypnotic state. Now, as I said, there's a big relationship between NLP and hypnosis. In some versions, you will be told that NLP is hypnosis repackaged for the 20th century or the 21st century. In any case, once again, NLP studies things like language patterns. In fact, one of my favorite language patterns from NLP is every day, in every way, better and better.